Hey guys, welcome back to the Ramel HD channel and welcome to this brand new series where we're going to be taking on the job as Manchester United and Football Manager again. So as you guys already know, I like to skip ahead in my saves just before I get started. I skipped ahead one season and Manchester United managed to bag top 4 and yeah, we are going to be in Champions League at the start of this rebuild. So I've taken the liberty to start shuffling the pack a bit when it comes to the backroom team. I've added a Helena Costa. As you already know, I normally hire her for the possession based training. I've also got this guy, I don't know how to pronounce his name and I'm not going to attempt to, but at the moment he's the best coach in my backroom team at the moment. We've also removed Darren Fletcher as the technical director. He's now just a coach who's taking his coaching badges, which is how it's supposed to be. But if I did have my way, he'd probably be coaching the under 18s, not the first team. So as you can see, I have a bit of work to do when it comes to like filling out the numbers a bit. We only have like 2 out of 4 performance analysts and the season's about to begin. So I have taken my time when it comes to recruiting the backroom staff. But also we do have other factors like work permits. We have a lot of people that are waiting their work permit to join. So as performance analysts, fitness coaches, even Victor Valdez, he's supposed to join the under 18s goalkeeping coaching team. And we also have a few physios as well. So yeah, I am working hard at trying to rebuild the squad and restructure it from top to bottom. So when it comes to tactics, it's very simple with United. Keep out 4-2-3-1, 4-3-3, or if you want to go back to Fergie days, 4-4-2. But we are going to go with a 4-2-3-1. As you can see, we have defensive wing backs, we have a ball-winning midfielder, a box-to-box midfielder, a number 10, but we are playing with inside forwards. In terms of in possession, we are going to be attacking with width, passing the ball into space. We're going to be slightly more direct with higher tempo football as well, playing for set pieces as we do possess a lot of good set piece takers within the side. Players like Telles, Fernandez, Ronaldo, and another player who I'm going to reveal sooner or later. I'm just making sure he's not on the screen at the moment. But yeah, in terms of set pieces, we are pretty much got it in the bag. We are not going to counter press and I'm not going to encourage them to regroup. When it comes to winning possession, we are going to counter attack because that's one of United's strengths in real life. And I feel like just judging by the stats on the game, we do possess a lot of good players that know how to pick out a killer pass and a lot of players that have a lot of pace that can run in behind. So in terms of the press, we are going to try to do that a bit often. In terms of the short goalkeeping distribution, we're going to try to prevent that too, and also use tighter marking. So this rebuild is going to be really important when it comes to transfers. The recruitment at United has been really shocking over the years, and this is my opportunity to try and fix that, try to change the type of player that we go for. And we are going to start off by talking a bit about Yves Bissouma, who I managed to bag on a really good deal. I managed to sign him from Brighton for 27 million. As it suggests, he can play as a Carrilero. I am going to be deploying as a ball-winning midfielder simply because he's the best out of every player that we have at the moment. We have McTominay, we have Matic, who's supposed to be out of the door, Fred, who I'm trying to push into the box-to-box role, and James Garner, who I'm going to try and promote from the youth ranks. So when it comes to his defensive attributes, he's got 14 marking, which isn't terrible, 17 tackling, his anticipation is 15, bravery is quite average, concentration is decent, positioning is good, teamwork is good, his work rate is good. The only thing that concerns me at the moment is his natural fitness, and I do need someone that's going to be playing week in, week out that I can trust to be there and be a rock in the midfield. So for me in real life, players like Bruno Fernandes never get a rest. I feel like the reason why they never get a rest because we never have anybody on the bench that we can trust to do the same job, if not a better job. So for me, the player that can come in and do a good job, if not maybe a greater job, is Christian Eriksen, who I managed to get on a free transfer because he left Brentford. So my intention behind this signing is to give us more options. So if Bruno takes a knock, if Bruno is showing signs of fatigue, or if Bruno's in bad form, we can play Christian Eriksen, who's a really good creator of the ball. He's got really good vision. He's probably one of the best technical players in the side as we currently speak. He's really composed and he's quite experienced. So one thing that kind of irks me about the Donny van de Beek signing is the fact that we didn't even try to get this guy settled. Like the first season, he barely even featured. We tried to give him a few cameos off the bench in cup games, tried to make him come off the bench to replace Bruno. I feel like he could have easily played as a number 10 from time to time, but we just didn't try him out as a box-to-box midfielder. We played a few players here and there in that role, like Fred. I feel like sometimes McTominay and Fred were just very negative, and players like Donny van de Beek would have been very offensive for us and very intelligent. I mean, unless he starts playing bad, he's going to be in my side and in my plans within this rebuild. So yeah, we are going to be seeing a lot of him. So when it comes to outs, these are players that are obviously on the way out in real life for United. And I feel like it's probably the best thing to do. It's the best thing for all parties is to just part ways. And one of those players is Paul Pogba. He's gone to Real Madrid on a free. We also got rid of Jesse Lingard for free and Juan Mata too. In terms of all the other players that have left, we've also sold Phil Jones for 1.9 million to Hamburg. We've also sold Edison Cavani to River Plate for 1.5 million as well. I am trying to get rid of what's his name, Matic. We are trying to get rid of Matic. He's not really making it easy because of his high wage demands. No one really wants to touch him. So there's another area in the side where I'll look to invest in is the centre back position. I feel like Maguire, Lindelof and Bailey, I need to really monitor how they play. I need to look for holes in their game before I pull the trigger on them. In terms of the database, they are saying that they are quality players or decent players. So we are not going to go in with like real life bias and get rid of Maguire off the rip for no reason. I am going to give him time to actually give me reasons to get rid of him. But I am looking at players such as Koundé. I'm looking at Tomori, looking at a lot of replacements in terms of the centre back position. So we went through everything to lead up to this point now, the start of the season. The first game of the Premier League season is going to be against Tottenham. We are facing up against Christian Eriksen's former side, and Eriksen is going to be starting in that game as well. So when it comes to the starting 11, we have David De Gea in goal, the lower right back for Varane. Next to Maguire, we have Luke Shaw on his left. In the midfield, we have McTominay. For some reason, we have Basuma as a box-to-box midfielder, and we are going to swap him out. We're going to switch him around, and we are going to look for Donny van de Beek. That solves the problem. So yeah, I'm not too sure why this has done that. We're going to switch that back to ball-winning midfielder, and we have Christian Eriksen as the number 10. Sancho, he's on the wing, Rashford's on the left, and Cristiano Ronaldo's up top on his own. Okay, so we managed to bag a goal just before half time. Luke Shaw puts the ball in to the box, and there's Varane. He out jumps Reguilon in the air to give us the lead. This is what we didn't need. Tottenham Hotspur have equalised. It's now 1-1. Reguilon plays it into Son, who just puts it in at the near post of David De Gea. So yeah, at the moment we are going to be sharing the points if it remains the same. When it comes to the Tottenham game, it ended 1-1. We didn't play well. As you can see from my XG, 0.82 isn't the stats of a side that created chances at all. In terms of possession, we weren't outplayed, but we weren't really that involved in the game that much. We had 9 shots, only 5 on target. Yeah, the players to highlight: Marcus Rashford played really poor. Sancho played poor. Van de Beek just about above average, but I was expecting a bit better from him. Even when he had a bit of protection from Basuma, he still didn't get himself involved in the attacks. Maguire 6.7, the low 6.9, which is quite a surprise for me. I thought he was going to be overrun by Son. He did quite well in most instances. Varane, obviously, he played the best out of everyone. He got a goal as well, which is kind of like a booster for him. He was very quiet after that goal, didn't really make much tackles. In terms of James Garner, he came off the bench, gave us a 6.6. Alanga gave us a 6.7. At the moment, there is a lot of potential in this side. We do have a lot of holes in our game. Didn't really create much chances. Didn't look comfortable in possession as well. So as far as I'm concerned, I just want to bring in a trophy and get top 4. I don't care how we do it, just as long as we get it done. just so we can get like the foundation set up for the next couple of seasons. But yeah, I'm gonna stop waffling now. I'm gonna play the rest of the season and we're gonna meet up for the review. Thank you to those who've managed to subscribe to the channel already. We managed to hit 100 subscribers. Now our next milestone is 300. Also, if you're enjoying my content, please remember to subscribe to the channel and also hit the notification bell just so you're notified once I've uploaded. Okay, now let's get back to the video. Okay, so we made it to the end of the season and we still have a Man United job at the moment. We haven't been fired. So yeah, we're going to get into a bit about how we done and how the players have performed over the course of the season. So in terms of the EFL Cup, we didn't do too well. We only had like 3 games on that whole competition. So in terms of the third round, we beat Everton 4-1. We got a few goals. We got a goal from Varane, Martial, Fernandes and Sancho. When it comes to Burnley, we won 5-0. We got a hat-trick from Anthony Martial and also a brace from Anthony Elanga. And then January 10th, we lost 1-0 to West Ham United because of Alexander Kolarov. He decided to come back to the Prem, join West Ham just to knock us out of the EFL Cup. Okay, so in Champions League, we ended up getting Athletic Club, Dynamo Kiev and Feyenoord in our group, where we smashed all of them in every game. So we won 6 games out of 6. So that gave us 18 points in the group stage. So we did get a decent seeding when it came to the round of 16. So when it came to the round of 16, we came up against Shakhtar Donetsk, where we was defending woefully. We did manage to make it past that tie, where we won 3-2 in the first leg, and then we won 4-2 in the second leg. However, it just wasn't the season, because Liverpool, they turned up against us. We drew them in the quarterfinals. We drew the first time, we drew 1-1. Rashford scored a penalty and Mo Salah got a goal as well. But in the second leg, that's where the thumping happened. So Joe Matip, he opened the scoring. Mo Salah scored a goal in the 31st minute and Luis Diaz scored in the 46th minute and the 61st minute. So yeah, we lost 5-1 on aggregate, which is not that great, and it's even worse because it's to Liverpool. And to add salt to the wound, Liverpool actually ended up making it to the final. We don't actually know the result of that final between them and Bayern Munich, but it's just the fact that they knocked us out and they made the full journey to the final. So when it comes to the FA Cup now, we started off our run against Blackburn Rovers, where we ended up winning 2-0 in the third round of the FA Cup. In the fourth round, we ended up defeating Coventry 1-0. Bristol City was the next team we came across in the 5th round, where we ended up winning 2-1. In the quarterfinals, we came up against Crystal Palace. We beat them 3-0. So here's the irony behind losing to Liverpool in the Champions League. Straight after that, we had them in the FA Cup, where we ended up beating them 3-2. It was bittersweet, but we did kind of get our revenge. If they go on to win the Champions League, I mean, that is a middle finger to us. Okay, so we're about to go into some highlights right about now. So yeah, the highlight starts here with Wolverhampton. They opened the scoring with Pedro Neto. Afterwards, we went ahead and had to go and equalize. So Van der Beek has the ball, Wan-Bissaka puts the ball in, and Harry Maguire helps us equalize with a header. So for the second goal now, Marcus Rashford plays a nice ball up the field into Elanga, and he puts it into the back of the net to make it 2-1 to United. Okay, so after taking the lead, there was a bit of controversy with a penalty shot, and it ended up getting given to Wolverhampton. And that player that stepped up was none other than Raul Jimenez, who steps up and puts it away for 2-2. Okay, so we managed to take the lead again through a corner kick. Luke Shaw puts it into the box and Lindelof is on the end of that to make it 3-2. Okay, so for the final goal in the 88th minute, it comes from Ronaldo. So Rashford plays a ball up to Charlie McNeil. Charlie McNeil 1-on-1 takes a shot, is saved, and the rebound goes straight to Ronaldo and he smashes it in to seal the deal for Manchester United. So we spoke about the Champions League, and we spoke about the EFL Cup, and we spoke about the FA Cup, which we ended up bringing one title, one domestic trophy back to Old Trafford. There's one more domestic title that we need to win and that we were planning to win, but we haven't spoken about it yet. So here we go, the Premier League. We ended up finishing first in the league. So if I can just go over to the Premier League table and just show you guys firsthand. As you can see, we finished the season with 102 points to Liverpool's 93. So where Liverpool was dominant in other competitions, such as Champions League, we were dominant in the league. As you can see, we only drew 3 games and lost 2 throughout the season. We had a really good record in terms of goals and goals conceded and goals scored. So I'm just going to quickly go into the full table. As you can see, we only conceded 35 goals. However, Liverpool did concede the least. After that was Manchester City. So we were third when it came to conceding the least. In terms of goals for, Liverpool, again, they topped us, but we were second place. So we got 105 goals, they got 107. But the main thing that matters anyway is the fact that we managed to bring a trophy back to Old Trafford, and it's none other than the league title. So just a quick summary of our data hub. According to the analysts, our attacking and defensive performances indicates that we are incredible defensively and just as good in attack. So meaning they believe defensively and attacking wise, we are probably above the rest in terms of the league. But again, like I said multiple times, there's always room for improvement. So I'll show you like our general performances. So things that I do want to improve upon is our conceded goals per game, which is 0.92. I feel like I can get this a bit lower. Our expected goals against per game is 1.19. So yeah, that could gradually change if we change this. However, on the bright side, we are doing well in terms of our goals per game. It's 2.76. So yeah, we did score a lot of goals this season, and our attack is to thank for that, basically. Other areas I feel like we do need to improve upon, maybe it's because I haven't asked my players to run at the defense as often as possible, is our dribbles per game, which is 9.50. The Premier League average is a bit higher than what we are currently doing, so the average is 10.61. In terms of our pass completion, we are below average, or below the Premier League's average, which is 88.94. At the moment, we are working with, can this move? Will it move? I don't know if it's going to move, guys. I don't know if it's going to move. I'm just going to back out and go back in, and maybe it's going to move. There we go. 88.68. So yeah, that is a bit of a drop. We definitely need to improve upon that. I feel like our ball retention throughout the season wasn't that great. If I'm honest with you, there were certain games where we were getting played off the park by teams that weren't even in the top half of the table, but we still managed to win because of the quality of players that we had in certain areas. And yeah, there were certain moments where it looked like we were going to lose, but pure magic from certain individuals have helped us out. But then again, maybe I need to cut the team some slack, because we did end up winning the league and we only lost 2 games during the course of the season. Okay, so next thing we're going to talk about now is the players. How did they get on as individuals this season? So yeah, we're going to look at it right about now. So if we can just move on to this screen here. So as you can see, Ronaldo's the player with the highest average rating, something that you would expect from the Premier League top goal scorer. He was actually our highest goal scorer in all competitions as well, with 34 goals. He got 10 assists, so that's 44 goal involvements in around 47 appearances. One other player that caught me by surprise is Christian Eriksen. At a ripe old age of 30 years of age where we signed him, he still managed to contribute quite a lot in his first season. So he put down 28 goal involvements across, my maths ain't great, I'm not even gonna attempt that, but that's roughly 40 appearances this season. I'm not gonna do quick maths and embarrass myself. Oh damn. But yeah, we got him for free, and he's valued 63 to 85 million. So we got our money's worth for sure. We definitely are gonna make a lot of profit on him if we end up moving him on. If not, we made profit on shirt sales, and I know how much the Glazers love that. So all in all, for me, it's a really successful season for his first season. Hopefully we can get, or maybe squeeze 2 more good seasons out of him. Then I'll be a happy guy. But yeah, honourable shout-outs. A lot of the players did quite well, if I'm honest with you. De Gea played well. Rashford played well. Sancho did quite well in certain aspects. He was out injured quite a few times, as you can see. If you compare the amount of game time, amount of minutes that Rashford got, it's quite a bit of a jump. So yeah, even Rashford was injury prone himself throughout the course of the season. Wasn't big injuries, it was just like little niggles here and there. But yeah, another guy that impressed me, Alanga and Martial. A lot of players impressed me, if I'm honest with you. Martial did quite well. 26 goals and 7 assists, and that's all competitions, and that's all in 42 appearances. So yeah, Martial had a really good season as well. I don't see myself selling him anytime soon. We definitely can still build our attack around him when Ronaldo kind of fades away into obscurity. And another thing with Alanga, there was a point where he scored 4 goals in 1 game. I want to actually show you guys, just so you guys know it ain't cap. As you can see, Alanga scored in the 4th minute, 12th minute, 39th minute, which was a penalty, to get the hat-trick and the 80th minute, and Declan Rice scored an own goal. So that was when we smashed West Ham United 5-1 in the Premier League. And yeah, I was really astounded by that performance. Another guy, we're just going to be doing this all day long, but I promise this is the last guy. If you do want to end up pausing, you can check out the stats, just pause the video. But I'm only pointing out people that caught me by surprise, or people that really stood out. The other guy is Garnacho. So if you're familiar with the United youth players, Garnacho is one of the stars in the academy in real life. He's made his debut in real life, his full first team debut. And yeah, I feel like he's got a real good future. On the game though, he smashed it. If I'm honest with you, this guy is unbelievable. Look at his stats. He has no right to be scoring a brace in the Manchester derby. And not only that, he's had a good season as well. It wasn't like one of those Makeda situations where he came in for like 3 games and did well. This guy, every time I played him, he looked quite solid. He played 20 games in the Premier League. 20 games. 20 games in the Premier League. And that was because Sancho was always injured. So when it came to Sancho's injury, it was a blessing in disguise for this young player. 8 goals in the Premier League and 5 assists. In all comps, he got 9 goals and 7 assists. And he made 29 appearances. Really impressive for an 18-year-old. And he had an average of 7.12. I mean, I don't need to go into the market for a winger next season. I've got an abundance of talent. I have Sancho, I have Diallo coming back from his loan, Pelistri, Garnacho is playing really good. If I'm honest with you, I might end up selling Pelistri. Garnacho may need to go out on loan to get first team football, or we may do the Phil Foden, just give him games here and there until like he's matured, and then he can just break into the first team and go wild. But this guy, he's just really caught me off guard. It's the first time I properly use him in a manager save with Manchester United. I normally loan him out for like 4 seasons and then end up selling them, making a profit. But this is the first time I've actually used him, and he's actually impressed. Okay, so in terms of our tactics was pretty much the same at the start of the season, but we did make a few tweaks. So eventually we did start going a bit more direct. So as you can see, yeah, it was slightly more direct. The tempo was always higher. We started working the ball into the box more. I started asking players to run at the defense. I know I didn't select that before. In terms of my other tactics, I ended up adopting a 3-5-2 formation. It worked in a few games, and especially the 5 at the back one. 5 at the back one was really needed because there was a point where Eriksen and Fernandes were injured and we didn't have much creativity in the midfield left. We did have Donny van de Beek, but I didn't want to overwork him, so I had him play as a box-to-box midfielder and just rotate it between him and Fred. I feel like I should have just set a limit, so once I hit that limit, it would have been no more loans. But in this situation, I would have probably promoted Hannibal, and because he's out on loan, it was impossible. So yeah, this was our last resort, 5-2-3. So as per usual, at the end of a season in Football Manager, there's always an end of season review. So yeah, we're going to take a look at it now, and we're starting off with the new arrivals. So that's Eriksen, Inacio and Basuma. So out of all the signings, the best was Eriksen. He ended the season with a 7.33 average. Not only they think he's the best, I believe he was the best. There were certain occasions I started him over Fernandes, and he was very influential compared to Fernandes as well. He got better numbers than Fernandes, and technically he is better than Fernandes. I did say it earlier on in the video, and this is just evidence. I knew what I was talking about when I got him for free. So when it comes to the competitions, we've been reviewed by the board. They've given us a B-. Like, for a club that hasn't won it since Fergie, I deserve an A. I got 102 points. I swear that's the most United has ever got in a league run. Okay, so in the Champions League, I got a C. I'm surprised. I was expecting an E or a D. Something very dramatic, because we did finish in like the quarterfinals. Expectation, what was our expectation? It's not saying it here. What was the expectation? Oh, it was to reach the quarterfinals. Okay, so we did satisfactory. Wait, why is it that it's the quarterfinals? I thought they would. I mean, I'm quite offended now. Like, did they not have faith that we could have gone on a run? No, next season we are going for the Champions League now. There's no way that they expect us to make the quarterfinals. United, that's all they ever do when they're in the Champions League. Quarterfinals, round of 16. So in the FA Cup, we got a B-. Okay, so for a board that doesn't really have much faith in me, why am I actually getting a B- when I'm successful at something? I should be getting an A*. Like, what is going on here? But yeah, a B- to the FA Cup. Carabao Cup was a C. We got knocked out in the quarterfinals, but it wasn't an important competition for the board. They had no expectation whatsoever. Okay, so in terms of the finances, the Glazers will definitely love this one. So yeah, our annual revenue is looking quite good. We have 4 greens and 1 red, so competition prize money has gone down by a couple of million. But in terms of like sponsorships, broadcast revenue, and corporate hospitality, it's all shot up. Shirt sales, we did really well with that as well. Okay, so this is how we lined up for the majority of the season. So we have David De Gea in goal, Delo at right back for Ran, centre back partnership with Inacio, and Luke Shaw's at left back. Garner's in the midfield next to Van der Beek. They did form a really good partnership during the course of the season. Garner is the only guy that is not like 7 and above when it comes to his average rating. Hence why I didn't really mention him too much, but he did break into the side pretty much. As you can see, he had 40 appearances in all competitions. Okay, so we had Sancho on the right, we had Eriksen as the number 10, Rashford on the left, and Ronaldo up top. As you already know, like I said before, Ronaldo was our top goal scorer. So yeah, the best performer this season for me overall was Ronaldo. But for me, the 2 guys that really impressed me, that caught me off guard, was Eriksen and Garnacho. I know I said Alanga as well, but I feel like Garnacho surprised me way more. But yeah, Alanga was quite impressive, not to take anything away from him. Okay, so yeah, I'm going to talk about my next season top target. And I feel like we definitely need to address the striking role. Even though Martial's putting in good numbers, I feel like we definitely need to up the ante a bit more in that role. We did have one striker and he pissed about with his career, and now he's no longer in the game. So we have to go and replace him directly. I feel like the best player to replace him with is Adeyemi. So he is my main top target going into next season. He just signed for FC Cologne, so it's going to take a lot of money for me to take him away from the club that he just joined. Not only that, he's actually a really good player as well. If you just highlight him as an advanced forward, he is quite good. There's obviously a lot of things he can work on, like his passing, his decision making. However, things that stand out is his pace, his finishing. I feel like his anticipation is good, his off the ball movement is good, his work rate is really impressive as well. And in terms of his personality, he is driven. So I feel like he matches what I'm looking for in terms of a striker. He's not going to be on the Ronaldo level. He's not going to be the next Van Nistelrooy. He's going to be Karim Adeyemi, and I want him because I believe he's going to be the next best thing at Manchester United. Okay, so on the topic of actual targets, I do have a few other targets as well. There's a few people here that are in the shortlist. Some of these guys are youngsters that are poached from other clubs during the intake. I'm a bit sneaky, but yeah, ignore these guys. I'm talking about Kaiki, if that's how you pronounce his name. He is a good centre back. He's Brazilian and he has a release clause of 13.5 million. I've attempted to sign him about 4 times. However, John Murtaugh, he's piss poor at negotiations. Every time I try to negotiate with him, it won't let me. He keeps trying to offer him an under 18s contract, so therefore he's going to keep rejecting, because you need to put some respect on some of these guys' names. He is 19 years of age, but would he knock Maguire out of his position? I'm sure he could. I'm sure he could knock Lindelof out of his position. Varane and Inacio are the only 2 centre-backs ahead of him. The other player is Marco Correa. Yeah, I feel like going forward he provides a lot of good attributes. Defensively, I would have to work on him. He is a bit average defensively, but my fullback normally tends to attack anyway, and he does normally have adequate cover near him. But in terms of like his going forward ability, he is quite good. He's got good pace. As you can see, 13, which is average, but his acceleration is 16. Agility is 15 as well. Anticipation is 16. In terms of his determination, again, I'm one of them guys that like driven players. He's driven and determined. That fits my criteria. Teamwork, 14. Positioning, 15. Off the ball, 15. Work rate, 14. I wish this was a bit better. And another thing that really puts me off is his natural fitness. But you guys kind of get the gist of what I'm trying to look for next season. I'm not saying he's for certain, someone that I'm going to go in for, but he's someone that I've definitely watched multiple times. Often sending scouts to watch him for free matches. I'll do it again, then I'll do it again for someone else, just so I'm getting credible information on the player. Okay, so we had a really good youth intake this season. We had a lot of good players come through the academy, signed to the academy I should say. Rob Rittenberg was one of those players, Zach O'Brien and Gruff Boyle. So these guys, they're pretty much wide players. So Gruff Boyle, I am training him up as an inside forward to come in from the left. Zach O'Brien, I am training him as an advanced forward up top. And Rittenberg, he's going to be trained as a wing-back defensive. And Rob Rittenberg has been trained up as a defensive wing-back. But as you can see, I had a really good intake. When I got the intake, and initially it was considered a 5-star intake. So yeah, youth is really important for my saves. As you can see, I'm really happy to be seeing Alejandro and Garnacho playing well in the first team. Yeah, I was always going to give them a try. I was always going to take that gamble, take that risk, and it ended up paying off. And we also have good players that are ready at the club as well, that are probably ready for first team football. The likes of Shola Shatiri. He had a really good loan move, a great loan spell. So we're going to go back to the development center and look at the loans. So as you can see, the highest average rating on their loan moves were Shola Shatiri and Dylan Levitt. Levitt, I feel like it's time to move him on. I don't think I have space in my midfield for him. However, Shola Shatiri, I've got all the time for him. Okay, so in terms of my thoughts for next season, I believe we're going to do well. Probably deserve to have a bit of a run in the Champions League. Whether we win it or not, I'm not too sure. I am aiming to make it to the final. What we do with that is going to be down to the players if we end up making it to the final. But yeah, that's my hopes and my expectations. In terms of the league, I do want to retain it. FA Cup and the EFL Cup, I mean, they're not top priorities for me, but I would love to defend the FA Cup. Eventually, the dream is to do the quadruple, but if it does end up getting to that, then the rebuild is pretty much complete. But yeah, thank you for tuning in. If you made it to the end of the video, please remember to leave a like, subscribe to the channel if you're new, and drop some comments below. Get in the comment section below. Let me know what you think of my signings, my tactics, my performance, how I presented the video. Was I loud enough? Was I not making enough eye contact? Which is most likely the thing, because yeah, I don't want to be doing that in the lens. I just want to be natural. But yeah, let me know in the comment section below. Give me some feedback. Also follow me on Instagram at RomelHD. So yeah, that's my Instagram page. Follow me there for updates. If you strictly come for Football Manager, I'll be updating you and when I'm releasing a rebuild video. If you like my content overall, you'll be getting like updates on when I'm about to release a video, whether it's FIFA or Football Manager. But yeah, that's enough explaining, enough waffling. I hope to see you in the next installment of this series. Take care, goodbye for now, and yeah, I hope you're inspired to do a save with Manchester United. If you are a United fan, or if you're not a United fan, I hope you make sure this team is successful virtually, because in real life it's gonna take us some time to get back to the old days.